Do you play some games with the controller? Because I think I have something that might help you out. What's going on, guys? My name is Kyle and welcome back to the Game Department. Today I wanted to talk to you about adding on little thumbstick extras for your controller. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about these little guys. These are little Control Freak branded add-ons for your PlayStation or Xbox controller that are designed to help give you more accuracy, make the thumbsticks more comfortable, and give you an enhanced grip. Now, you may have seen these before, you may have seen cheaper alternatives. These ones are the Control Freak brand. I'll leave a little link to that in the description, you can check them out. I have 3 sets that we've had sitting in our house for a while. We used to use these all the time. They do feel quite comfortable. If you've never used these before, it's very different to what you might expect. It is very, very different to the way the stock thumbsticks feel, but I want to show you the different kinds, talk a little bit about what the differences are, what the edgings are, what the heights mean, and just give you a bit of an idea and a bit of a look into them because they may be helpful for you. So I've got 3 little sets. I've got this orange pair, I've got this purple pair, and I've got this Modern Warfare version that are like hexagons, but we'll go through those in a second. First, I want to go over a couple of differences between each of them. So generally, thumbsticks come in 3 different sizes. You have a low, a mid, and a high rise. So a low rise, which are the smallest versions, they are 3.7 mil on top of what the stock thumbstick's height is. Then you go to a mid rise, which is 6.5 mil, and then you go to a high rise, which is 10 mil. So there's gradual steps in each different levels and they all do different feels. So I'm gonna go through the ones that I have just to give you a bit of a real world look of what the differences are. Now, I don't have any low rise versions. I only have mids and highs, but I'm sure you can understand what the difference is gonna be to a low when you look at the difference between a mid and a high, but we're gonna go through those now. So the first ones I wanna talk about are these orange ones. Now, these orange ones are a set of mids. Now, mids are generally going to be used for movement. So if you use them on, say, an FPS game or any sort of third-person game, you're generally going to have it on your left-hand stick to help you with movement and be a little bit more precise with the way you're moving. So as I said before, these orange thumbsticks are both mids. They both sit at that 6.5 millimeter height. They do have a slight concave on either side with one flat spot for where your thumb can sit in. And what that does is it essentially helps keep your thumb on the thumbstick and it stops it from slipping off and sliding off if you're moving it around a lot. Now, the next set I want to move to are these purple ones here. So these purple ones are a split set. So what that means is that they're each different sizes. So the left stick is a mid, which is a 6.5 mil, and the right stick is a high, which is a 10 mil. So essentially what this one is designed for is for FPS games, things where your right stick is to look around, your left stick is to move, which is most games layout, but I do feel these ones are more beneficial for a first-person shooter. Now, looking a little bit closer at these, you can see that immediate height difference. Now, the one on the right will be your high rise, and what that'll do is help you be way more accurate with your camera movement and just be a little bit more precise with the way things are moving. Now, looking at the top of these thumbsticks, you can see they're slightly different to the orange set. So they don't have a rim on the outside of the thumbstick, but they more have a concave with a lower part in the center, and that essentially does the same thing. It keeps your thumb in position, it stops it from sliding around a bit, and it gives you that nice reference of where the center is no matter how your thumb is sitting on the thumbstick. Now, moving on to the third and final set, which are these blue ones here. These ones are a little bit different to what the other 2 have been. They are still mids, which again means they're a 6.5 mil on top of the thumbstick. The big difference with these ones is going to be the shape. Now, these are a limited edition version that Control Freak made when Modern Warfare was originally released on the PlayStation 4, and the shape of them themselves is very different to the last 2 that we've seen. Even though the height is the same, the big difference that I'm sure you can see is going to be the hexagon shape. Now, I don't know if there's any major benefits of the hexagon shape, whether it means your thumb can grip it better from the side or whatever the situation is going to be. I don't know what that reason is. In saying that, they are very, very comfortable to use. I've actually used these ones the most out of all 3 sets, and I'm sure you can see on the top of the thumbstick, it is shaped very different to the previous 2 we've already seen. So this one doesn't have a concave into the center. It doesn't have any sort of rim on the outside, but this one's more of a dome shape. So it sort of follows the original shape that your thumbstick would take. The only real difference is going to be it's a little bit of extra height and it has the hexagonal face. It does have this little design etched onto the face, which does give it a nice bit of grip, but it looks really good at the same time without being bland or boring. So like I said before, I've used the Modern Warfare ones more than the other 2, not because they're Modern Warfare, but I found these more comfortable. I do like the purple ones. I like having the high rise on the right-hand side if I'm really wanting to be more precise with our camera movement, but it's going to be subjective to each person. I might find these ones really comfortable. You might hate them. You might only like the orange ones. You might only like the purple ones. The best advice I can give you is just get a couple of different sizes if you're interested and just try them out for yourself. They're not overly expensive. I think we paid like $15 or $20 per pack, so it's not a crazy expense, but if you're curious, it's definitely something that I would suggest you try out. Now, I'm sure the big question is, what's the point? It's not like the thumbsticks that come with your stock controller are bad and don't work, but there can be a couple of hidden benefits that you get with using these on your stock controller. So the first big one is going to be the fact that they're going to sit over the top of your stock thumbsticks and completely protect them. Obviously, when you use your stock thumbsticks for a while, you feel that the grip starts to wear off, they start to get a little bit gross. That's obviously because we're using them all the freaking time. These go on top, you wear these down, you replace these, your stock thumbstick feels exactly the same as it did the day you bought it, which is obviously preferable instead of having to replace your controller. The other real beneficial thing with using these is it's actually comfortable to use for a really long time. You know when you're playing with a controller and you're a couple of hours in and you start to feel really weird in the back of your thumbs and your hands cramp and feels gross and weird? This pretty much gets rid of that. Not entirely, but it does help, and that's always good. If it means I can play games for longer, then I'll do it. And the last thing with these is they claim that it helps with your aim. Now, I have no scientific evidence to prove whether these help or whether they don't help. I like the way that they feel, and I do feel like I would play better, but I don't know if that's because I can play for longer without my hands hurting and it just feels more comfortable. I don't know if that's the case, but maybe. But when you think about the basic concept of the thumbstick is longer, you have to move it more for the controller to register less of a movement, then it does kind of make sense. Do I suggest you go out and spend $50 on different sets of thumbsticks? No. But if you're curious on what ones you might like, start with these ones. In a couple of weeks, try another one. In a couple of months, try another one. I don't know. I like these and I wanted to talk about them because some people might not know exactly what they are. I didn't until I got them, so you're welcome. So like I said before, these are all Control Freak branded. I'm gonna leave their website in the description if you wanna check them out and check out what other stuff they've got. This is by no means a sponsored video, but Control Freak, my email address is in the About section. If you have some more questions on these that I haven't quite covered, I stream 3 days a week at Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at twitch.tv/The Game Department. Come and check it out. Come and ask me some questions. I'm very responsive there, and we can have a discussion about thumbsticks, because who doesn't want to do that in the middle of their week? Realistically, let's be honest. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful in any way, don't forget to chuck it a like and subscribe, because there is, like, why not? I mean, there's no reason, like, you should, so just do it. That was very sassy, I had a lot of attitude. If you want to join us on Discord, I'll leave the link to our Discord server below. We talk about games, we talk about memes, we roast me, you know the spiel, come and join it. The link to that will be in the description, as well as all of our other social media. If you want to find us on Twitter, Instagram, not Facebook, but Twitter and Instagram, just search The Game Department, you'll find us pretty much everywhere. Other than that, I hope you had a good morning, I hope you have a good night. Bye!